This is Education Without Borders, and again, we have learned about local content. We want to populate our digital space with local content. So we are up country, and we want to go and check some traditional structures which are used in a farmland, up country, away from the urban areas. So in the rural areas, follow me, we want to see some of the structures which are used to support subsistence farming. So as you follow me, we'll take you to some sheds which can be used for animals, farm animals, and also specifically we want to talk about goats. So if you follow me, we'll take you to those sheds in a rural setup. Again, we want to populate our digital space with the local content, which is real, which is not artificial, and we want to see it as it is. Welcome, this is Education Without Borders, and these are some of the traditional structures which support the systems in the rural areas. So when you go to rural areas, you'll find structures like this. These are very important because they are used as storage for the farm produce. They are also used as sheds for animals. For example, if you follow me here, this is a shed for chicken. This is a chicken shed. It needs to be made a little cleaner, but I just wanted Education Without Borders to help us see what is expected. This is a goat shed, a shed for goats, and it's locked, and you can hear there are goats inside. This is a goat shed, and if you look at this, this is the manure that is obtained from goats. So the goat shed is very important. So let us follow. You'll see some of the goats. It is a bit cold, so the goats are closed in. Let's see what is happening. This is a coffee area. These are coffee berries which have been put here to dry. So when you take your coffee, you know that the berries are picked from the farm. We'll go to the farm. I'll show you some of the berries. They are picked and they are put there. I want to show you some of the, these are the little goats which have just been born. These are newborn which has just been born, and the mother is in the background. Keep following me. This is Education Without Borders. As we go along, we'll keep learning. I would encourage you to keep watching and keep learning. This is Education Without Borders. We have migrated temporarily from an urban area to a rural area, and we want to integrate our knowledge with what is happening. Real life is whole. It consists of both rural and urban. Most of the time our settings has been in the urban areas. In this season, we want our setting to be in the rural areas. So keep watching and keep learning. Integration of knowledge into unbiased space. Thank you. Keep watching. So when you travel to a forested area, this is an area where there is abundance of energy resource, that is firewood. And when the trees drop their branches, we want to learn a very good way of making use of that. So this is a storage where we keep the firewood. All these are branches which have fallen from the trees, and we want to populate our space with local content so that when people start reading, they don't just think about gas, think about electricity. There is also local content. So inside this shed, this is where we store firewood. So you can see, I want us to experience local. This is local content. We don't want any bias. Remember, we are now in a digital age. in a digital age, we want to populate our space with local content. This is a firewood space. In a traditional area where we are, it can be called Ikobe. I-K-U-M-B-I. I want to populate the space, the digital space, with local content. So we are within the Abadeas. We have seen that there is abundance of fuel, and the fuel is local. The structure is called Ikobe. Therefore, we don't want any bias. We don't want to be artificial. We want to be real. I also want to take you to a place which is also a small shed, which is within very natural habitat where little puppies are kept. This is education without borders. Keep learning, keep following, and in this case, we are learning local content. We shall be back. As we say, education has no borders. So now we are at the slopes of Abadeas, and we came here specifically just before Christmas to plant jackfruit. So we have planted one jackfruit in obedience to the presidential directive of planting very many millions of trees before 2030. And in obedience to that, we have just planted jackfruit. And I would want you to follow me. I take you around. We see countryside, as you can see in my back. So welcome once again to Education Without Borders, and we want to make good use of our holiday without wasting time. So we have talked about planting trees. We have also talked about going to the countryside. We have also introduced you to the Abadeas. So again, I want you to follow me. We have some historical structures. This is a goat shed. Follow me. We want to see how a typical goat shed looks like. This in the distance, goat sheds, and this is very natural and beautiful. And the air here is very fresh, and we are really ready to have a holiday. And when we go back to work, it will be great because we have refreshed, you have changed our areas, we have traveled up country, and we are inside Abadeas, and it is a great thing. We cannot come to the rural areas and not introduce you to some of the new plants that are in the farm. So what I'm holding is a jackfruit. This jackfruit is 2 years old, and it's originally not from the country of Kenya. So the seedling was imported from Uganda, and it was brought here. And it was nurtured. You can see we already have manure from the goats, and now we have a jackfruit which is 2 years old. In another year or so, because it has started fruiting, you'll see the fruits of the labor. So welcome to Education Without Borders, this segment of the rural setup. Education has no border, so we not only learn about the urban area, we also learn about the life in the rural area. This is a rural area where it's basically subsistence farming. This is a jackfruit which is 2.5 years. Keep learning, keep watching. We shall be updating you on how our fruits, our jackfruits are doing. Keep following. We'll be back. Aya, ongea kwa sauti, ati unafanya nini hapa?
Nachuna kahawa.
Unachuna kahawa? Unachuna namna gani?
Nachuna hizi, nachuna zile za red.
Wacha tuone.
Nyekundu.
Ile nyekundu? Na kama kahawa kama hii mti, inatoa kilo ngapi?
Hii inatoa kilo 2.
Kilo 2?
Or 1.5.
Or 1.5 kilo? Haya, na unatoa hata ile nyeusi?
Hapana, ile nyeusi inatolewa baadaye.
Kwa sababu naona kuna nyekundu, Kuna ya kijani kibichi na kuna nyeusi.
Kuna nyeusi.
Zinatolewa namna gani?
First tunachuna ile nyekundu.
Aha.
Alafu hii nyekundu ikiisha.
Aha.
Tunakuja tunachuna hii nyeusi.
Haya, wacha nione pahali unaweka.
Naweka hapo ndani.
Wacha tuone na kutoka asubuhi umechuna tu hii? Wapi ile umechuna?
Nimepandisha huko juu.
Oh, umechuna kama kilo gapi sasa?
Nimechuna kama 15 kg.
Kama 15 kg? Kutoka asubuhi?
Kutoka asubuhi.
Ulikuja saa gapi?
Ulikuja saa 2.
Saa 2 ulikuja? Utatoka saa gapi?
Kutoka saa 10.
Saa 10.
Ndio nichague.
Na uchague, na kama kutoka sasa mpaka saa 10 utachuna kilo gapi?
Sisi wote tutachuna kama 78 kg.
Kama 78 kg leo? Oh, okay. Asante sana, tulitaka kujua vile kahawa inachuniwa na sasa tumeona. Tutafuata sasa mpaka kwa factory. Ili watoto wajue wasome. Sasa tuko kwenye masomo hapa Ruro. Asante sana. Hii channel inaitwa Education Without Borders. Tuambie, keep watching, keep learning. Yeah. Asante, endelea. Haya. Thank you very much. Welcome. We again at the rural area. We want to learn about vegetables, in particular the farming of cabbages. And we have a farmer here. He will tell us his name, and I'll allow him to tell us how do you grow them, what is the market, what are the challenges. How are you? Tell us your name and answer those questions.
My name is Benson Wanyere.
Benson Wanyere, yes.
And I come from Madeira.
He comes from Madeira, yes. Yes, Wanyere, tell
Cabbage
us.
Depends on variety. It depends on either hybrid or the local one.
Yes.
But at this particular moment,
yes,
we are planting hybrid. There are many challenges of growing cabbage. Because sometimes you can plant your cabbage, then you wait for those who come to buy.
Yes.
And they fail because of how the market is.
How the market is. What I want you to tell us is, how do schools, the educational institutions, affect you as a farmer?
As a farmer,
yes,
I'm affected by when the school is closed.
When the school is closed?
Because the school consumes a lot of cabbage. When the school is already closed.
Give us an example of a school that you supply to.
Me, I'm not a supplier, but we rely on suppliers.
Okay, the suppliers come to you as the farmer.
Those who are given that meaning, that bit of buying and selling and taking to the meaning. To the school. To the school. They are the ones we depend on. When the school is already closed, you see they are not coming to. Because there are no students. There are no students. So they go to their individual homes. And the students are the most consumers of cabbage. The biggest consumers of cabbage are students. Are students. In boarding schools. Because even if you take, for example, yes, you take a school like Gadu. Like Gadu Girls, which is not far from here. Yes, tell us. There are many students there. How many? Approximately? It's approximately 3,000. 3,000 students consuming cabbage. Consuming cabbage. Okay. That is one school. Yes, one school. And the surrounding areas there is a lot of other schools and boarding schools. And boarding schools. Yes. Now you see. Yes. If there's 10 schools surrounding. Yes. We as a farmer. Yes. You benefit as a farmer because you are the schools are relying on the farmer for cabbage, for piripiri hoho, for maize. What we have learned today is that when schools are open, the farmers have a ready market. Because consumption is high. Because the consumption is high. But once they go home, yes, you cannot continue. Yes. But when they are there, yes, they must. When students are in school, they must eat cabbage if it's the one provided. Whether they like it or not. Whether they like it or not. And the farmers benefit. Yes. Thank you very much, Wanyere. We would encourage you to keep farming. We feel very proud of you. Okay. Keep farming and may the students keep eating cabbages. Yes, yes. Keep learning. This is education without any borders.
Keep following. We shall be back.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.